These astronauts have arrived on a deserted moon as a part of a mission, but as they die and get revived multiple times on this celestial body, they learn that their physiology has been altered, and they are no longer just humans. Inside a prison on a mining colony, an inmate named Kai Cortland, who is one of the many prisoners being forced to labor all day, is asked to check a machine called the Crusher Pit to see if he can get it up and running again. After he completes this task, the arrival of a new inmate is announced, and when the rest of the prisoners see who the inmate is, they suddenly start rebelling and attacking all the guards. Seeing that they are not going to win this fight, one of the guards activates the Crusher Pit in reverse, which causes it to suck in the chains that are attached to the legs of the prisoners. As Kai is getting dragged in, he takes a desperate measure and shoots his foot off to save himself. He hops on one leg toward the machine and turns it off before it can swallow any of the other prisoners. After this, he passes out from the pain. When he wakes up, he finds that he is being watched by a bunch of people, one of whom is named Tobias Hatch. Hatch explains that he knows Kai's father, and they have fought together many times. He laments that they weren't fully prepared for this prison break mission, but reveals that they have given Kai a prosthetic mechanical foot to replace the one he blew off. Hatch is the leader of the rebellion movement against a man named General Lang, and Kai's father is an important figure in said movement. However, he has been captured, and Lang intends to execute him soon. Hatch says that he wants to break Kai's father out of prison, but he needs more information for it, and that is where Kai comes in. Kai is an expert pilot, and Hatch needs him to hijack an important scientific space vessel and retrieve its data, which will help Hatch free Kai's father. Kai agrees to the mission, and Hatch promises to collect him from the vessel once the mission is completed. Next, Kai is placed on the space vessel which is named Arrowhead, and he is kept in suspended animation. However, he wakes up earlier than the rest of the crew and begins working on the mission. Over the comms, Hatch explains that all he has to do is plug in the device he's been provided into the ship, and it will do the job of retrieving the data. As he does this, a message appears on the screen explaining that if he goes through with this process, it will lower the ship's defenses. Kai shares this concern with Hatch, but he replies that it's only temporary, and the ship will be fine. This is revealed to be untrue, as some kind of flare occurs outside which damages the ship. Hatch tells Kai to hold tight while they come to rescue him, but requests that, in the meantime, he relays the data he's downloaded. Trusting Hatch, Kai is about to send the data, but the flare appears to have destabilized all of the ship systems, and the transfer is not possible. Then, all the safety pods of the ship carrying the crew members are ejected, and Kai also enters a shuttle and ejects from the mothership to head toward a nearby moon. As his shuttle crash lands on the moon, the AI of the ship informs him that the atmosphere of the moon appears to be toxic and may cause paralysis. It also suggests that Kai find a new source of oxygen because the supply in the shuttle is depleting fast. A voice is heard on the comms which is revealed to be Norman Oleander, the head of security on the Arrowhead. He tells any survivors to reach the crash site of the main ship so that they can begin working on getting out of there. As Kai gets out and starts making his way toward the main crash site, he finds one solitary emergency pod, inside which he finds a crew member named Taran Hollis. He brings her back to the shuttle, and once she awakens, she accesses the shuttle's AI system, while still being suspicious that Kai was not among the crew when the Arrowhead launched. She suggests that they start making their way toward the main crash site, or the crew will leave without them. After walking for a little while, they finally start seeing the Arrowhead in the distance, and they notice a strange obelisk in front of it. Taran figures out that Kai works for Hatch, and tries to convince him that Hatch is not on the right side of this conflict. He is an evil man who is known for raiding colonies and killing thousands. Kai dismisses all this as propaganda. Realizing that now Taran knows his true identity and he will not be welcome on the Arrowhead, Kai heads back to the shuttle and attempts to fly it out to some nearby space station. However, he cannot activate its systems because he isn't authorized and he doesn't have the proper codes either. Kai has no choice but to rejoin Taran, but they fail to make it to the Arrowhead in time, and the ship leaves without them. As the ship is leaving, something comes out of a nearby cave and drags Kai inside, supposedly killing him. At night, stranded all by herself on the deserted moon, Taran decides to look around and see if there are any other survivors besides her. To her shock, she finds Kai lying on the ground, completely naked, covered in some kind of goo, with his previously prosthetic foot completely healed and human now. Taran brings him back to the shuttle and tests his blood, which reveals that his body has formed a symbiotic relationship with some local organism that has managed to heal him, and even make him immune to the otherwise toxic atmosphere of this moon. As Kai wakes up, Taran starts questioning him about what happened and how he feels, but he can only tell her that he feels good. He asks her what kind of resources they now have at their disposal on this ship, and she replies that they have nothing to work with. As they walk around the moon, hoping to find something to help their situation, they stumble across the body of Oleander, who is covered in a cocoon of some sort. They bring the body back to the shuttle and get the AI to scan his eyes, because he is authorized to access all the systems of the ship, and now they can fly out of here. Kai is unwilling to take Oleander with them, since that might hurt his chances of rescuing his father, but just then, Taran remembers that Kai used to work for her father when she was young, and she says that the man she knew then would not leave someone behind to die. Outside, Oleander wakes up, disoriented and paranoid, and starts screaming that Hatch is going to kill them all. In this state, he grabs a gun on the ground and shoots and kills Hollis. Enraged, Kai beats him to death, but then he realizes that a bullet has penetrated his chest as well. He collapses. Next, Kai is revived once more, and he finds the remains of 2 dead bodies, insinuating that both Taran and Oleander have perished. He enters the ship and finds its power source depleted, because it has been running for 34 days, which is how long he was dead. Now, the symbiote has revived him once again. The AI informs Kai that it detected Oleander's heartbeat while Kai was dead, so perhaps he is still alive. Over the next few days, Kai works to try and replace the power source of the shuttle so that he can get off this moon in time to complete his mission and save his father. One night, as he is sleeping, he is awakened by an unbearable pain all over his body. He runs outside, where he undergoes a transformation of some kind. The next morning, he awakens completely naked on the ground, and he realizes that the same symbiote that keeps reviving him when he dies caused him to transform into some kind of alien creature as his emotions became volatile. He returns to the ship to continue working on the power source, but the AI informs him that he was actually transformed for 2 full days, and the day of his father's execution has already passed. The realization that his father is dead breaks him, and he decides to give up and accept his fate. 3 years pass, and it is revealed that Kai is still alive and still working to try and get off this moon. He has worked on controlling his emotions so that he doesn't transform and lose time again. One day, the AI comes up with a theory that just like Kai is stuck in a symbiotic relationship with an alien organism, so is Oleander, but his transformation into the alien being has become permanent. It further explains that death is part of a cyclical process for them now, which always ends in a new body. This suggests that the remains Kai found when he woke up were of his own previous body. The AI points out that Kai killed Oleander 3 years ago, but his consciousness seems to be alive in a different body somewhere on this planet. To test this theory, the AI suggests that Kai kill himself, and Kai does just that because, well, it's not like he has anything else to do. The theory is proven correct as Kai wakes up in a new body, and then he uses his previous body as bait to lure Oleander's monster form out and shoot it dead. As soon as the monster dies, a loud growling sound is heard coming from every direction. As Kai comes back inside, the AI informs him that it heard this sound when Kai killed himself too. It appears to be the moon's way of mourning, which activates its power to revive the dead into a new body. Next, the AI randomly mentions that it knows what became of Taran and wants to talk about it, but it can only provide information when it is properly prompted. Frustrated, Kai demands to know what happened, and the AI plays an audio from the night that Taran supposedly died, which reveals that she actually just underwent a transformation like Kai and escaped. Kai becomes emotional because for the first time in years he has a purpose. He must find Taran. He uses some parts of the shuttle to fashion the AI a body that allows it to move around, and together, Kai and the AI set out to look for Taran. After walking around for a bit, they find some large tunnels and decide to investigate what's inside. Walking deep into the tunnels, Kai finds a place where his and Oleander's original bodies seem to have become a part of the moon. He suffocates Oleander to put him out of his misery, which seems to kill his monster form too. But he cannot bring himself to do the same thing to his own original self. Next, as Kai walks out of the tunnel, he finds some clues suggesting that Taran managed to launch herself off this moon, which makes him happy. Just then, he sees something falling from the sky, and it is revealed to be more of the escape pods from the Arrowhead. Kai doesn't understand why these are reaching the surface just now after so many years, and this correct prompt causes the AI to reveal classified information which explains that this moon is actually at the center of a time dilation experiment. Just then, Hatch arrives on the moon in a ship and explains that from his perspective only 20 minutes have passed. Kai tells Hatch what the AI has told him, that the government is planning to build prisons on this moon so that tons of equipment can be built by the prisoners in just days' worth of time elsewhere, due to the time dilation. Hatch is not surprised by this information. It is revealed that he is already aware of this moon's time dilation qualities, and he is planning to use it for his own nefarious purposes. Hatch asks Kai for the data that he stole from the Arrowhead, but Kai, who now realizes that Hatch is no saint, refuses to give him the data. Hatch knocks him out, and when he wakes up, he learns that Hatch kidnapped Taran as she was trying to escape this moon. Hatch threatens to kill her unless Kai gives up the data, and Kai says that it's in the AI outside. Hatch goes to check it out, but as he nears the AI, a bomb explodes, which Kai found in his prosthetic foot earlier, realizing that Hatch never intended for him to survive this mission. Inside, Kai transforms into his monster form and kills all of Hatch's men. But afterward, he is unable to return to his human state. Taran talks to him and calms him down, allowing him to regain control over his emotions. Happy to be reunited, Taran and Kai head toward Hatch's ship to get off this moon. On the way, the AI asks Kai if he is going to save his father, but Kai, who now knows that there are no heroes on either side of this conflict, replies that he is going to save everyone. The end. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like our channel and subscribe if you enjoy content like this. Also, let us know what movie you would love us to recap for you.